Hello, I'm Kelly, and welcome to Kelly Loves Books and Movies. And this is going to be just a wrap up of what I read in November. November, I didn't read a lot. I only read 4 books. I don't know. I just had a lot going on. I got caught up on a few series streaming, so I didn't read a whole lot. Um, yeah, I don't know why. It just happened, I guess. The first book I read, now I brought this on a trip, um, and I intended to read it. I was going to LA, and it's also a movie, and a movie that wasn't showing here, but showing in LA. So I thought, oh, if I quick read the book, and then go to the movie. But so I threw this in my bag. Um, it is Claire Keegan. Small things like these. I did not end up going to the movie, but yeah, on my connecting flight, we after we pulled away from the gate, we had to like wait forever to get like de-iced. I mean, we sat there for over an hour, and I had intended to read this in the air. I read and finished this before we even took off. From the time we pulled back from the gate, I finished it before we took off. Of course, it is short. It's only like 100 and a little over 100 pages, 110. I love this book. It's about a man it's around Christmas time, so hey, I guess it's appropriate now. Um, he was raised by a single mother. You know, he's a good guy, tries to help out others, finds out a little something happening at the convent in their town, and it kind of goes from there. It's short. I really liked it. I will see the movie. Uh, Maybe when it's streaming or if it ever comes here. I think it's already streaming somewhere, so I'll see the movie. Next up was the next Janet Ivanovich book, 31 on the Run, Now or Never. I got that as soon as it came out, read it on my Kindle in an evening, because they're always pretty easy to read. Um, it was pretty good. I mean, if you read 30, you know there was a cliffhanger. Um, in 31, she makes her choice. I heard a lot of people don't like her choice. I liked the choice. It's funny as usual. Funny, Grandma's funny. Lula's funny. Crazy hijinks happen. It's pretty typical. I liked it. Maybe not one of my favorites, but, I had a good time reading it. Next up was Miranda July, All Fours. Um, yeah, it was interesting. Not my cup of tea. I think I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Um, did not like the main character at all. I mean, yeah, she did some really bananas things, and that in itself wasn't why I didn't like it. Didn't like her. I thought that she didn't really have any real consequences to her actions. It's like, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, that part I didn't like. What I did like about the book was it talks a lot about menopause and things like that, and being a middle-aged person. It just resonated more with me. Especially, I thought it was interesting because, well, it was just interesting to read other people's experiences. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. And her best friend is awesome, and I liked that character. But yeah, some of the choices she makes obviously are kind of dumb and bananas. But the thing that bugged me most was I don't see any sort of consequences for what she did, or even any sort of remorse at, like, she totally could mess. Some of the things she did, she didn't really think about the consequences for the other people in those decisions. And I think some of those could have been like super catastrophic for those other people. And we don't necessarily know how all of them worked out, but it's like, I don't think she had any sort of thought about how it was going to affect the other people at all. And that just. And she never did at the end either, I don't think. It seemed like, oh, everything's happy and fun now. No consequences. Didn't like that part. But overall, I didn't hate the book. I didn't love the book. I think I gave it 3 stars. Alright, last up. Now this, A Walk in the Park, Kevin Fidarko, the true story of a spectacular misadventure in the Grand Canyon. Kevin Fidarko and photographer Pete, I always forget his last name, Pete McBride, they decided they were going to do a through hike all the way through the Grand Canyon from the boundaries of the park, pretty much. I think the boundaries of the park. Pretty much the whole thing. Anyway, I absolutely love this book. I loved it so much as I actually got this as a hold at the library, and I felt that I needed to own it. Well, because there are maps in here too that I really want to go back and look at some of the maps. There's a couple of maps anyway, and look at them in more detail. And I think, anyway, these two, they started out thinking, I mean, they're not novice hikers or anything. I mean, they have done pretty big things, but yeah. The first week almost killed them. We'll say that. I mean, their original intent was to hike it not, non-stop all the way through. They ended up having to do sections, but because like the first week almost killed them. And even the very much more experienced people that they wound up joining up with at the beginning, they didn't even all make it. It's a pretty rough go. It's pretty hard to do. So it was fun. It also has a lot of just, their story, which sometimes is funny, and there's, some geology in here, some history. It's pretty much the whole package. And I love the desert Southwest, and I've only been to the Grand Canyon. I've only been to the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. I've never been to the South Rim. I've never really been down into the Grand Canyon, but those are also things I really want to do. So this, I kind of have a different trip in mind in February, but I might change it to the Grand Canyon. We'll see. I don't know. It's just, I only have a few short days I can go, so. And I love this so much. Okay, this is the writer Kevin, and Pete was the photographer, and he's a National Geographic photographer. As soon as I finished the book, I ordered, it's huge, the photo book of the trip, of Pete's photos from this trip. The trip, well, it's section hike, so trips. And I've only started going through this, and it's so gorgeous. I'm already, interested in, landscape and wildlife photography anyway, so this was not a hard, thing. Can you see some of these? Probably not. But yeah, these are just absolutely gorgeous. And I can't wait to finish this. I'm about a third of the way through. Oh, look at this rattlesnake. Can you see the rattlesnake? Boop, boop. I don't know. Can you see that rattlesnake? That's pretty cool. Yeah, as soon as, I lost my bookmark. Anyway, yeah, I ordered this as soon. Back cover's pretty cool too. As soon as I finished that book, I bought the photo book. So yeah, that was absolutely, that's definitely going to make one of my top reads of the year. And if you are interested in outdoor adventure books or the Grand Canyon, I can highly recommend this. Alright, so 4 books, not a whole lot. December, it's already December 3rd, 4th, and I have not really picked up a book other than the photo book. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to wind up with in December, but stay tuned and find out. Anyway, thanks for watching. See y'all next time.